Yeah, we're coming back to our yearly episode, Best of 2025. So we'll look at the best, coolest, craziest moments of the year. Do you have any favorites, Arnie, from this year?
Wow, yeah, isn't it wonderful? So I'm very happy that we're having this review because I forgot a lot of things. I enjoyed the freestyle in Weissenhaus because it was close to Hamburg, to ChessBase. So it
Hmm.
was nice to meet some of the people there. Um, I mean, was it this year that Gukesh won? Yes. I mean, that was a high, or was it last year?
It is so hard to remember. I don't even know if
Unbelievable.
it was this year or last year. But the candidates were last year.
Candidates were last year. I think,
Yeah. He could
oh
have
my,
won at the end of the year or beginning of the year. Wow, we're both very, very bad at.
but yeah, so I don't remember. I don't have a favorite moment, but do you have a favorite moment?
Well, they're all here today. They're all here in this lesson.
Let's go. Let's look at
I
them.
focused a bit on like not really favorite game, but more so favorite like moves, so
Mhm.
that you and the audience can guess them as well.
Nice.
So it's just gonna be a collection of these moves, and anybody watching can try to solve them. And in this position, it's black to move, and this is a choice between a loss and a win. So it's a very high stakes move because only one move wins for black, and it's a really crazy one. So what do you think it could be?
Well, I'm pretty sure after this setup that it's not taking the queen. This cannot be very good.
Taking the queen, what's gonna happen?
What will happen? The rook will go to h8, and I think that's it already. That's all
Yeah,
she
that's
wrote.
exactly what white wants. And
So,
this is, by the way, a game between Lazovic and it is Gurel.
mhm, mhm. Okay, I wonder what happens if the queen goes to f2 with a check. Is this
Yes,
the
you got
crazy
it.
deflection? Wow.
That's the crazy move I was looking for. So, what happens if the king takes?
We give a check, and
Yeah,
that's
this
the
comes with
trick.
check, and we win a piece in the process.
How cool.
And what
Why is this
about
so easy to see? Yeah, okay, we do the
rook
same. I
takes?
mean, we take the queen as well,
Yep.
and if that is, it doesn't matter, we take the rook.
Yes, exactly. And the point is that that other rook can also be taken
Yeah.
at the end, so there's no checkmate. The bishop is here, so the king can also take it. So that's also gives black an extra exchange. And black went on to win after a long game. But it was this move. I'm very happy that you saw it, and I think it's yeah, maybe it's not the hardest one to see, but it's a really
It
cute
is
place for the queen.
such a crazy cool move, but for some reason it is rather easy to spot. It's funny.
That's
Maybe
good.
you felt the same at home. Let's go to the next one.
Hopefully. So this is the next one, and this is from a current tournament, a global chess league that's taking place right now.
Oh.
And this is between Vidit and Report.
Mhm.
And I want us to look at this from the black side. So black really cooked up a strong attack, but it is what happens next that requires more of a calculation. So how do you think black continues this?
There's the interesting idea of knight f3 check, knight f3, knight f3 check, queen takes f3, and then we cannot take the bishop on c3 because the queen will defend. So there must
Mhm.
be a different way on. Okay, okay, okay. I think there must be a Zwischenzug. Wow, this is fascinating. So I'm calculating knight e5 goes to f3 check. Knight takes on
Okay.
f3. Oh, it's wrong. I thought like
No, I'm
rook.
just I'm just really curious what you
I
saw.
thought rook takes e1 now. That's the Zwischenzug. And it is tremendously complicated. So
It is.
who
So if
who
this, your
even
idea is this, right?
yeah, that would work to a
Yeah.
certain degree because we just have the same pieces. Actually, white is still better because the pawns are too strong
What
in the
about
center.
this?
Then we take. The queen is just protecting the freak. Wait, yeah, no, there is nothing. The queen is just protecting the bishop. It's sad. The rook f5 doesn't help.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wrong.
No,
I was wrong.
but you're right. This is like this would be one of the top things you look for, especially when
Hmm.
I tell you that it's a tactical position, but it's not that direct.
Okay,
It's just the
now
first attacking move.
I see the spot now, which I forgot earlier, which is f2. That might be important. What about knight g4? If the queen takes back, this is probably the first thing to calculate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, I see the point of this, but then again, if you ever play bishop c3 and you try to win one of the two rooks, then rook e8 kind of saves both of them.
damn.
So it won't really win anything, but
Huh. I'm on the wrong path. Interesting. Okay, so let me quickly assess another option. Why can't I find it? It's so funny. No, this also doesn't work. No, unfortunately, I am out of ideas here. What a
this is
pity.
not even the crazy part yet. I
Not
can just tell
even.
you the first move and
Yeah,
then you can go from there. So the first one is just f3.
thought of this. Yeah,
And this opens up the king even more. I think you would play this in bullet without even
probably. Yeah.
thinking. You just play f3, you try to open the king. So then white tried to go for a counterattack with their own pawn.
Okay.
And after this is where sort of the real calculation starts.
Mm.
What would you play?
So here, queen can go to f2
Yeah,
check.
right.
King goes aside. Or do we do the same thing now with now the now the knights thing are working. Knight f3 check. Because the rook is open now. Which piece was there before? Huh.
So you're looking at this?
Yeah, but it's not. No. I'm not looking at this. I'm looking at knight f3 check now.
Oh, okay.
Also not. Wow. Why not? Takes again.
The
Another
knight?
check, yeah. And now we just take the bishop. Okay, the rook takes again.
Bishop or the rook? Yeah, no, this makes sense.
Oh, but
But
still not convincing enough.
yeah, it doesn't. I was just. No, wait. There's rookie one that's actually pretty serious.
Oh yeah. No,
No, this
no.
is
If
actually very
if even
serious.
if even the pawns are just so
Maybe this
advanced.
first, and
Yeah.
then. Wow, yeah, this pawn is actually it's
So
actually really
strong,
cool.
too strong. So this
But
counterattack
yeah,
works.
this I think we just take, and if you go back, then rook c1 is fine.
Hmm.
No, but knight of 3 is very valid. I even wrote down knight of 3 in my notes because I knew you would try something like
Okay.
that. But for sure, the top things are to look for are the captures on f2 and also that check. But that check doesn't lead to anything. It's either an even trade or.
Yeah. So,
But you were sort of on a more correct track before with queen f2.
okay.
But the thing about this position is that the queen doesn't do much on f2. You wanted to come back here to maybe bring the rook over, and there and there just isn't quite something as convincing as black. So even here, there's some crazy lines like this that
Oof.
sort of save white from all this with too many pieces left. So not sure if this actually would have happened, but queen f2 was, I think, one of the top candidate moves that just doesn't quite get there because there's nothing as direct.
Okay.
So what's the other candidate move to look for?
Well, rook takes f2?
Yes, rook takes f2. So
Okay.
there is a slight difference here, and you'll see why in a second. So the rook is already there, and then you want to put the queen to g3 and threaten mate.
Mm-hmm.
So white plays d7, threatening to take the rook and promote to a queen. And what does black do against it?
I wonder if we can play rook takes g2 check. No, it's not enough. Again,
Well, we can try, but
check on
what is
h3, and
after?
that's then there's nothing which follows up.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's very close. Very close to working.
But it just is not. So instead, we have to. What do we have to do? Rook d8. No, it doesn't help. Do we just take with the knight on d7 and then get our king out to f7? Oh, this also doesn't look good. Queen will go to
There's
e1.
something much better.
Why don't I see it? It's so weird. And what about the check now with the knight? Also
Knight
doesn't.
f3 just never leaves you.
Yes, why? Because now the queen could go to g3 maybe at one point.
At which point?
Oh no. I cannot figure it out, Svetlana. I don't want to delay this for too long.
No, you're so close. So you mentioned moving the rook, and that would be still fine, like it would keep the game going, but it's not the strongest thing because the our piece just gets taken. And rook g2 was really good, and basically the whole idea is to checkmate the white king.
Yeah, yeah.
And and the beautiful thing about this is that you said queen g3, and then I asked at
Oh,
some
okay,
point, and then I
okay.
asked
It's
at which point because it's right now. And
what?
and you keep the rook hanging, white promotes, but then you just cover up with the bishop, and there is no defense against the mate on g2. So after this and this, white resigned.
That's fascinating. Didn't cross my mind. I'm too scared to even dare letting my opponent get a queen.
Yeah,
Wow, the prosecution was a bigger threat. No, the idea was a bigger threat than the prosecution, that way around.
execution.
Execution, my God. Nonetheless, what about knight takes h3 check? I just need to check this too. The king
Sure.
just goes to a
Where here?
side. Yeah, yeah, the king just goes to h1.
Well, yeah, because if we take, then queen g3.
That would work.
So that's the only option.
That's
Yeah.
fine. And now, what
No.
changed compared to the old position that I can go with the queen to g3? Oh my God, the rook can go to g1.
Oh, yeah, that too. Well, I assume we get the queen first,
Yeah,
and then
and then the
maybe rook
rook. Yeah,
g1.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Oh,
So much
funny.
going on.
Yes,
Yeah.
what a crazy game. From who? Yeah, Vidit and Richard Rapport. My God, and Vidit found
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. In a rapid game too. So,
He's quite a good player.
yeah, very attacking and creative player as he's known for it. So now this one, I think a lot of people have seen it, but this is probably my favorite game of the year.
Oh,
And
oh, okay.
it is the game between Hare Krishna and Nesterov from the World Cup, which was a really cool
Hmm.
tournament of 2025 as well.
True.
And it started out like this, and I just want to give the starting point so that we understand how the position came about.
Wait a second. Was this the England gambit? No. No,
No,
no.
it was the Petroff, but the
Wow.
specific variation of it. And this is all theory so far, and you just casually let the opponent take on f2. And so far, I think both of them knew this, and it was after this, the move that shocked everyone that came. Do you remember this one
Oh,
or no?
no, I don't. But I would immediately play knight takes e4. It just
Knight takes
looks,
e4, that's exactly it.
it looks so crushing. It must be right.
It
There's no
looks really
check.
good, and it
So,
is
yeah.
what Hare Krishna played in the game.
Wow.
So it is not as simple as it looks because usually when we sacrifice, there's some follow-up, but here it's a very long-term thing
Hmm.
about giving up that queen for these two pieces. So after, so he sacrifices the queen, and then knight here, and then takes this other bishop. So now there's two pieces for a queen and pawn, which is quite a lot, but black's pieces are gonna have a hard time developing, and the king is sort of in a yeah, in a weird place. So
Funny.
this is actually not the first time this game happened. There's 8 other games that reach this position, and the idea is just to maintain better development for white and play this on more positionally rather than tactically.
Crazy.
So it continued like this, and there's not too much to guess after that, but it's just sort of an example about how these two pieces actually ended up being better than the queen. And if I was still writing my imbalances course, this would have been one of the position of how pieces
Oh,
can play against the queen.
100%, yes.
So then after this he goes for, well, you can guess,
Yeah, it
he goes for yet
almost,
another
yeah,
interesting.
exactly. So rook takes e3 is
Yeah.
another must move.
Yeah, you just get rid of the active pieces and it doesn't even look like black is up so much stuff. So he tries to get rid of some of it, but that doesn't help because this king actually ends up being almost mated, but not by the queen, but by these many pieces. So
Terrific.
eventually the game just ends after h4.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I think it's just something you watch. There wasn't even much to guess, but it's a good idea to know, and it was a very famous game when it happened because of this beautiful knight to
This is
e4
the
idea.
first time I'm seeing this. I love it. I hope this, I will ever, if I ever am white and I play this, this will occur on the board. Would be
Yeah, no,
lovely.
I think this Petrov line is actually very tactical sometimes. So it's a really cool one to learn against the
Nice.
Petrov if you don't want to go for some boring Petrov. But although black can make this a bit boring, but hopefully not. Hopefully they go exactly for this. Next one.
Yes, please.
Okay, so here once again, I'm starting a bit early. This one is from the Grand Swiss, another big tournament in the chess calendar. And here I just started a few moves early because I wanted to show how white is having two queens on the board. So one of them promoted, but the king is in some danger. So what do you think this could be? I think you'll get this one.
There's nothing going on. Even two queens cannot handle the safety. So, no, unfortunately, queen f3 doesn't work because the rook would just take on h3. That
Right.
is a bit unfortunate. I was perhaps wrong. So, queen f2 check. Rook takes f2. Rook e1 check. Is that it? Or no, it's not. King h2. Check on f2. King takes h3. Check on h1. King g4. I'm running out of ideas, but I think I'm onto something.
You are.
We have to just do something different. I think queen f2 check is the right path.
Yes, that's the move with one or two exclams. That's a really nice queen
And I
sack.
think also rook e1 might be correct.
Yeah.
King h2. Well, what else is there though? What else is there?
You
There's
were
nothing.
on the right track.
Oh, there is. Okay, I just calculated wrongly. There is the pawn on f5 is actually um, defended
Yeah.
by the rook.
Yep.
Oh no, this is so beautiful, lovely.
Final move.
G6 check.
Yeah.
I thought you. Yeah, yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, no. So that's it was sort of a
Wow,
simpler mate, but it was really beautiful, and it's not very often you see two queens, but the king gets checkmated on the other side of the board.
cute. Yeah.
This was another cute one. And final one, probably the most complicated one,
Good.
difficulty-wise, but I think we can still do it. So this one is, we'll look at it as black, and this is just from an open, not an open, but the Prague Chess Festival between Anish Giri and Aravind.
Hmm.
So Aravind was playing as black, and he found some very nice attacking resources. What do you think black should play in such a position? It looks very closed.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's too slow, but d4 would be interesting to get the bishop to
D4
d5.
happens later in the game,
Yeah.
so it's actually one of the key ideas.
Another thing would be taking on g4, getting the knight to g5, maybe opening up the f file.
You just
Just
mentioned all the important things in the position.
I just have to find the right order of this whole intermezzo.
Yeah,
I think g4 is quite forcing.
taking on G4.
Yeah.
So that's not it immediately, but it's
Damn.
part of the idea. So the thing about doing it right away is that yes, it looks really good, but rook h1 kind of brings it over back to white
Oh no.
to have control of the h file.
Okay, we take that back. So, well, that leaves us to d4, not immediately, you said. So then we go to knight g5 in this case, the last
Yeah,
existing one. Well, that's crazy.
no, that was one of
And
the
it is also
fascinating ones.
forceful.
Yeah,
Attacking
why?
h3, of course. So you have to,
Yeah.
I thought, like, why don't you just leave the knight there?
No,
But
it
you
is
have to
forceful.
take. You have to take.
It is forceful, yeah, because otherwise, I mean, even the knight can go to e4 and stay there forever. But no, it is attacking h3, so you should take. And then the whole idea of this knight g4 move, which you also mentioned earlier, was to take on g4. And now there is a difference because now if rook h1, then we have this extra f file and we have
A
bishop to f3.
nice check on
So that's
f3.
the difference between the knight being there and the knight being taken. So this is already winning for black, but no matter what white tries to block this f file, there's queen h3, there's no defense against it, and we win the knight on g3, either immediately or in a few moves.
Okay.
Or in a few moves, it's actually just mate, but we can also win this knight, and this position is definitely crushing for the black side. So what white did is that they calculated all of that and they said no thank you, and they played rook to h1, just
Mm.
how we wanted initially. So what can we do now?
So, okay. Doop, doop, doop. What if we play d4 now? Because that's an immediate threat again.
Exactly, d4. So you already, that's why I said in the first 3 seconds of seeing the position, you mentioned every important detail of the position. So it was great. So d4, a huge threat of the bishop d5. And yeah, well, if this, then exactly what we played this for. This is just really, really good. You can even take here and start attacking on f4. And if the knight gets taken, this is probably the hardest move in the whole sequence to see.
Hmm. Takes on. No, that doesn't help.
Takes where?
Takes is good, right? Takes on e3.
Takes on e3, that's the move, but you seemed hesitant.
I was.
Why?
Well, I'm also. But there's so much to calculate. What happens if. Could the bishop just go. But we're just. White just loses? Not really. What is with bishop e4. Okay, I see it already. It's the rook going to f2 check. If we take, okay, and bishop c4.
Bishop c4 is valid, but I also just wonder if we can take and just f4.
Yeah, f4 is crushing.
That would be my thought, but there could be something even better. Maybe right away f4.
Yeah. That looks very, very brutal.
So, no,
Wow.
but I would also hesitate with d takes c3. I think it's very hard to see, and it's just a natural reaction to having just lost the piece, because it's not a check, it's not threatening something specific right now, but it is threatening pretty big things with bishop d5 and f4, depending on what the opponent does. And yeah, that was it. This one as well was interesting, but it runs into bishop e4, and white is kind of holding on surprisingly, but there's not a lot to do, so they bring it back. And here, this is what happened in the game. So yeah, if like rook takes, there's also f4, and if g takes f5, then um, I would have expected bishop d5, but it's actually g takes to f5 because
Okay.
you want to keep both threats.
Ah, yeah, okay.
You
That's
just
that's interesting.
you can always play bishop d5 next move, and you keep both of your threats there. And eventually, black did win back their piece and kept the attack going, and it was a really interesting end as well. Here, I'm sure this sacrifice is also calling your name. What is black doing?
Well, we can just take on
Of
f3.
course.
Queen take
Of
cannot
course.
take. And if the
Yeah.
king
So
takes,
either piece taking is quite bad. So bishop, of course, goes to d5 finally, which all happened because of that d4 sacrifice that we played earlier. But as it often is, when you make a positional sacrifice, the effect of it comes a little bit later. And this is exactly the effect that we wanted. So after some checks, black took the rook, and the game ended right here. So um, that was it for the examples. You did really well today. They were all quite attacking examples, a lot of sacrifices. But yeah, I thought in 2025, like you said, we had a lot of very cool events, and there was also lots of up and coming young stars, I feel, this year.
yeah,
And I hope that next year will bring us even more.
I hope so too. Thank you everybody for watching. Have lovely holidays. We see each other soon enough. Until
Yeah,
then.
happy holidays.